Number 8, we are given the function v of x is equal to the absolute value of x minus 4 plus 2. And ultimately what we're trying to do is graph this function. So notice that the base function here is the absolute value of x, since we see those absolute value bars. So that tells us that we start with our v shape. So that's the one that has the point at 0, 0, and then we have points at negative 1, 1, negative 2, 2, positive 1, 1, and positive 2, 2. So we're starting out with something that looks like this. Now part A asks us to list the transformations that we would have to do to that base function. So the transformations that we see in this function are the minus 4, which because that is inside the absolute value bars with the x, that affects our graph horizontally. And specifically because it's a negative, that tells us to move to the right. So we're going to shift all of our points to the right 4. And then the plus 2, since it's on the outside of the absolute value bars, that affects our graph vertically. And because it's a positive, that tells us to move up 2. So those would be our transformations. Those would be our answers to part A. And then part B wants us to actually apply those transformations to the graph. So we're going to take all of our points and shift them to the right 4, up 2. So that means that this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2, will end up at 2, 4. This point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, will end up at 3, 3. This point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ends up at 4, 2. This point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ends up at 5, 3. And this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ends up at 6, 4. And then we just connect that final set of points to get our graph of v of x.